not doing a Zoom call this time. We've got someone in the studio. In fact, the GM, the General Manager of Performance Artists in Victoria. Name is Leanne Gunnelson.
Yep.
Or Gunnelson.
Gunnelson.
Mind you, it could have been Gunnelson when the first members of the family arrived in Australia. How many years ago?
Oh, 1857, jumped ship. Gosh, good memory there. Yes, it was probably Gunnelson, back in the day.
And I'm thinking to myself, what a journey this family has been performing for the better part of all these years.
All these years.
So the Norwegian DNA has held you in good stead.
Well, it must.
It's given you a vitality.
Check that hair. It's got to be, you know.
And it's also given you a real lust for living.
Yep.
And there's nothing more exciting than performance artists.
Oh, there's nothing more exciting than live entertainment. No, it is the hallmark of a civilized society.
I haven't seen any for months.
God, I know, it's driving me insane.
So what's happening?
Well, with COVID, of course, we knew the industry would struggle. Personally, for me, I lost 100% of my business by mid-March. And then I heard from my 250 odd artists that the same thing was happening for them. And literally everybody's work dried up by mid-April. There was not another job.
And we should explain, performance artists are a unique breed. Many of them have degrees in all manner of different things. They've been part of academia for years, and they have this creative outlet. And it's music, or it can be 1,000 other things. Now, so this is a very difficult experience for a great many of them, not to have an outlet at the most critical time in their lives at the moment, because they have a zest, and I said a lust for life. And here you're told, sit back in your box, stay at home, and do you have any idea when there might be some light at the end of the tunnel so they can start planning?
Well, this is the hardest part about it. We were, as an industry, we were all devastated that our opportunity to perform live was decimated.
Yep.
So a lot of my artists then started live streaming concerts because they have to create.
Got it.
One of the downsides of that is you don't make any money live streaming concerts. We as an industry, I started live streaming. I put on a couple of concerts. I had wonderful classical music performers, cellists and harpists and opera singers performing, and we were looking at that. We were selling tickets, you know. We might make $100 for 20 hours, 30 hours work, but at least we were doing something. And with the latest lockdown, we were told we weren't allowed going to the studio. So we lost our opportunity to create good quality, talented work that we could offer because we're not allowed going to the studio.
That's a scenario that scares the hell out of so many people.
Yeah.
But here's the question: many performance artists work months in advance,
yes,
or weeks in advance. They look for jobs. You have a calendar, and you map out different things. All of that has been wiped away.
All gone. So in my part of the business, I had stuff lined up for 12 months and I would just get phone call after phone call saying, look, we can't go forward. And everything literally went. I'm talking street festivals, I'm talking opportunity for 30 odd musicians in this town alone.
Activations galore.
Activations everywhere, all gone. I was just about to sign a contract with a very large hotel supplier to give them live music every Friday night.
How fabulous.
Local governments were looking at having opera in the park, they were looking at having street activation jazz festivals, and we were having 30, 40, 50 artists who would have regular, dedicated income coming in, jobs coming in. All gone, and then like that.
How have they been surviving?
These
From your
guys
250 clients, how have they been surviving?
Well, this is the tough part about being in our industry. A lot of them...
You're not a small business.
We don't qualify for anything really. We're the invisible industry.
So you're not even a sole trader?
I'm a sole trader. Some of my guys are sole traders, but I'm not eligible for government grants because they want you to have work cover. And to get work cover, you need to be eligible. And there's a whole criteria that people in the arts industry and many small business operators like me...
They're slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, we don't get any support.
Wow.
We have no opportunity to get hold of those grants that can help us put on better quality performances. You know, my guys really need to buy that better quality microphone, that great camera. They should be creating great demos. They can't do that because They're locked at home, they don't have access to the materials they need, and the money that could go to them, they're not eligible for because they don't have a work cover certificate.
So is anyone listening?
No.
Wow.
We're a $33 billion industry. That's what the arts contributes to Victoria.
Australia-wide?
No, Victoria.
Wow.
$33 billion industry.
That's extraordinary.
But this is the point. Our industry isn't seen as a big industry because we're the small player. But you take live music out of the scene and there's no nightlife in Melbourne after 9 p.m. There's no one selling pizzas after 9 p.m. There's no coffee shops open after 9
Correct.
p.m. Because without live music happening in this town, nothing happens after 9 p.m.
Right. And you've got, of course, we're all under the curfew in Victoria. Regional Victoria starting to open slowly, but
You can't have groups of people.
wow.
So you've got a live stream, and there's a couple of jobs coming through to live stream, but that's not the same, performance is this, is interaction,
All right,
is
say
people.
the doors open tomorrow.
Yep.
You can't expect to pick up business straight
No.
away. That's the other layer of problems that people don't understand or appreciate. These are relationships that you've built up over
Years.
time, years, as you say,
Years.
and they love you and they book you because they know who you are. Suddenly, draw a line in the
You're gone.
sand.
And there's also the budget line for that.
Wow.
I don't think there's a lot of emphasis on the value of performance or live music in the industry. And as
Yes,
a
we've had a bad habit of doing that, haven't we?
And as a consequence, there's not a budget line. And if there's not a budget line, we don't have entertainment because we'll just put on the iPod or we'll Spotify or we'll,
Whatever.
we don't. How many conferences or trade shows have you gone to where they haven't had live music? I
Yes.
don't get that.
You know, one of the great joys of watching select players from the MSO, for example, turn up at a function, corporate function, because they knew the talent was there. They've booked them. They knew that they were happy to give them a check or pay them accordingly for the job. And the quality of the experience has been lifted immeasurably.
Yeah.
For me, you put a quartet, you put a trio, you put a group singing, dancing or playing, and it permeates every part of the room.
It lifts the
Not
atmosphere.
quad sound, it's just the
It just
beautiful
lifts
sound.
the
It does.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
And we're talking about bands here, the corporate musicians that I represent. These are the guys who are playing the background music
Yeah.
at your award ceremony. These are the guys who are playing in the foyer of the Arts Centre when you enter. These are the guys who are activating the RSL clubs, with
These
their
would have been
beautiful
many of
music.
the guys before they became Skyhooks or
Yes.
Little River Band or whatever else.
Well, as an industry, 99% of everybody in it never gets fame. There's no fame for these guys. But they are the cornerstone of
They
our
are.
culture.
Yeah.
And when you take them out, you are left with an empty, vacuous place.
And we're
Vacuous place.
reminded yet again, Victoria has had this title of most livable city for a number of years, and we've also had the best night spots.
Right.
That are affording us, these little bars, made even richer by the
the live
music that's
music.
been created by the musicians throughout and of course right now, none of them are open.
No.
So tell me about the mental health of the professionals that you've had, working under your care.
I've been ringing a lot of my artists because I want to make sure they're okay.
Yep.
And they're really struggling because we don't see an avenue out. We need people to put that budget line against live entertainment so we know when we come out of this that there's jobs going to be available. Because my guys are going, what's my future? Where do I go from here? Do I have to retrain? I can't afford to retrain because I've got to pay the full price. I don't even get subsidy on that. There's no money coming in to support us as an industry. But without us, what happens to the rest? Like I said before, there is no nightlife in Melbourne after 9 p.m. if you don't have live music. And my guys are going, when can I get back to play?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of the Saturday afternoons and the Sunday
Yes.
afternoons that
Yes.
are richer because of the fact that council is running an activation,
Yep.
or there's been an opportunity to play some music.
Yep.
And I
There's the
we live
Beach
in Port
Festival.
Melbourne, so St Kilda, Port Melbourne, all that area is a very different place when there's music in the air.
Yeah.
What would you like done? If there's one thing we could do, what would you like to, other than, of course, getting everything open again?
Well, I think it would be great if we're going to be in this lockdown that the arts are allowed to go back into the studio to be able to live stream performances. That would be the one thing the government could change right now, right today,
Yep.
that would make it so much easier for us to put out quality content. But in the future going forward, what we really want is that your local governments, your shopping centres, your Lions clubs, your community groups, those that are always looking for the arts to come in to help fundraise for them, we want them to put a budget line against live entertainment.
Okay, yeah, they're very quick to ask for your
Very quick to
assistance
ask our
when they need to put a show on
Yep.
for the bushfires
Yep.
or for any other emergency.
Well, my guys actually created...
maybe we should actually play for it yourselves
Yes.
and do it
Yeah.
you know, in a roundabout way, because right now you need assistance.
Yeah, and you know, the government's given some money, but it's given it to the big players who are always doing it their same way. So, you know, the City of Melbourne has a great arts program. They had a lot of grants, but I don't know any of my guys who got any.
Wow.
Because they're going to a similar group of performers.
Well, can I just say to you, there are council elections coming up. There may well be an opportunity to reach out to the Lord Mayor and to others and to say to them, come on, we support you guys. You
all
need
the
to
time.
support us.
Yeah. And that's across the board. Local governments across the board need to say we want to embrace more of our arts in our community and have more of it available. We can't have those big festivals and have smaller ones. Have the 200 people opera in the park, not hard to organise at all. Have the small jazz festival that is dedicated to just 200 people. You sign up through an app, bang, you get in, we scan your door ticket, in you come, you're able to come in there, it's outdoors, it's summer, let's get that stuff going.
Socially distanced, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Leanne Gunnelson giving us a chance to listen to the plight of all those performance artists strewn not only throughout Victoria but throughout the country. How many billion did you say?
33 billion the arts industry contributes to Victoria.
What a number. Let's put some of that back and help them. As we say to you and to all our guests, thank you for joining us. And by the way, if you want to know more about what happens at The Informer, make sure you go online and check out our website. That's The Informer TV. Thank you very much, Leanne.
Thank you, great to be here.